I think The Notebook came on. I remember you and her having this conversation about movies and stuff, and I think it was the Time Traveler's Wife.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was poo-pooing that crap when we all hung out that one day. I was like, no, they not bonding over this dumb-ass movie. I couldn't, for my life, think of what is so appealing about this movie. This dude, one is a child molester, obviously, because he's going back in time.
Engage. Hello, somebodies. Thank you for clicking on that bomb-ass thumbnail, huh? That's what drew you in. I am your host, Mr. Mafuchi, and with me is my co-host, a person that can help you out if you have a PC virus. And then he'll install his virus onto yours and charge you double. Here is my boy and yours. Here's Jay!
Hey, what's up, everybody?
On today's show, it will be something important for us, for wifey, sure, but mostly for us. It is hobbies with and without wifey. Now, I know most of us guys think, oh, finally, I'm gonna have my alone time and at peace. I'm just gonna chill on my own. But no, believe it or not, some of us guys, maybe one or two of us here, even on the show, do like to hang out and hobby it up with the missus. And vice versa. Sometimes the wifey likes to be with us too. And hey, it becomes kismet at that point, which is nice. It gets both of us smiling and it gets us through another day realizing, hey, we're probably not going to get divorced today. So, let's dive deep. And that's really the only way I know how to, hence why I got two boys. Let's get to the first question that I'm very curious about with my boy here, Jay. Here is the first one. No lifeline, by the way. It's just you. When it comes to your hobbies, do you have a preference of either hobbying up with the missus or just on your own?
I'll say it like this. I actually do like hanging out with my wife and spending some type of time together. So there are things we do like to do together, and things like, oh no, you can go do that on your own. I'm not going to be a part of it, and I'll explain that later on. But yeah, there's something I really want her to do with me, but she refused to do it with me. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but we can go past that. But that's another thing for a different day.
Well, wow, Jay. Okay, so there you go. What did I say, somebodies? One out of two of us. We still don't know 2 out of 2 yet because I haven't spoken yet. That does enjoy hobbying up with his wife. Now, getting to me. I also do like to hobby it up with my wife, especially because in my line of work, I'm a truck driver. I leave for a couple days out of the week, and then when I come back, I need to make up those days with my family, and more so the missus. So we get together, I stick around in the same room she's in, and then we just go ahead, and if our interest and we have time for it, we'll go ahead and hobby it up ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Jay will agree too, we do like our alone time, but right now, we're talking about preferences. I prefer to be with the missus, and I know it's probably jaw-dropping for most of you somebodies, for most of you guys out there, but hey, that is the truth, and we will bring it to you in Marriage Probes. We're not going to be hard asses and say, no, just leave us alone, we just want to chill, we want to be by ourselves. And that's not the case. Not if you want to be in a successful marriage like Jay and I have been in. 10 plus years, people. That matters. That is something to count on.
All right, Mr. Mafuchi. So, some hobbies that I like to do with my wife. We like to watch TV shows together. Because we don't have a lot of TV shows in common. So we like to watch. Married at First Sight. We like to watch The Braxtons. Let me see. Is that it? Man, I think that is it. It's not a lot of shows. It's really not. Yeah, those ones coming to mind right now. We just watched The Braxtons the other day. And we're waiting for Married at First Sight to come back. So those are the ones we do like to watch in common. Because other than that, we don't like to watch anything else together at all. Because either she's going to poo-poo what it is, or I'm going to talk about whatever it is that she's watching. So it's a lot of like button heads. It's like, okay, you want to enjoy your stuff, I want to enjoy my stuff, but yet we're going to comment on each other's stuff. So what about you? What do you and the missus like to do for a hobby together?
Well, I think it was similar. It's not TV shows, although she tries to get me to watch her stuff. And then I've told her so many times, I'm so sorry, honey, but these are not for me. Whenever it's something drug related, with the exception of Breaking Bad, one of the best dramas of all time, I am not going to be interested. Again, I am a DARE kid. Drug abuse resistance education. That's just not for me. But I will go on one thing with you, Jay. We do watch movies. So what we tend to do is we take turns with our movies. We'll show each other a movie that we've seen that the other person hasn't, with the caveat that we think the other person will like it. Now, I'll say this, no one bats 1,000. Sometimes there's a clunker or two that has happened. More so on my side, apparently, but I just think she doesn't have good taste. But, anyways, that's just how it goes. The other thing, the other hobby that we are able to engage in as well, sometimes we just like to play 90s and early aughts music videos. So I'll go ahead and start off, or she will. But the only bad thing about that is, most of the time, it's her music and her videos. If I try to put something new on, something of my taste, more so, I enjoy, because I am a Mexican. I'm puro from my raza that's out there. I like Mexican and Spanish rock and pop. If I try to put, maybe I'll get away with one, maybe two. But if I put anything more, nope. That session is over. Now, at the same time, I found this out about 2 weeks ago. I tried playing a song by Brandy, sitting up in my room, which is one of my favorites. Nope. Wifey does not like Brandy at all. Why? I have no idea. So, Brandy is out. I have to play Rihanna. So, because she enjoys Rihanna. But otherwise, if I try to implement my music, it's lame, and we're cutting it short. But that's just for her. So, those are essentially the hobbies that we get involved with. I know you're shaking your head. I know why, because it's going to be the whole Brandy thing. I don't get it either. I love her music, but I don't know, Jay. So that's where I leave that, because I want to stay married. So I just leave Brandy to myself, and believe you me, I'll take Brandy by myself. That's for sure.
No, because that's one of my favorite songs by Brandy. Is like
Mine
Sitting
too.
in My Room. I remember when it came out. That was one of my favorites. But when you're talking about watching movies together, that reminded me, because I think my wife and I were talking about this the other day. I think The Notebook came on. I remember you and her were having this conversation about movies and stuff, and I think it was The Time Traveler's Wife.
Yeah.
And I was poo-pooing that crap when we all hung out that one day. I was like, no, they not bonding over this dumb-ass movie. I couldn't, for my life, think of what is so appealing about this movie. This dude, one is a child molester, obviously, because he's going back in time. And this is his future wife, and he's been very nice to her. I'm like, this is very inappropriate. And I don't understand why you guys, well, I know why my wife likes anything with time-related themes. She loves it. I just couldn't get behind this movie. He gets shot and killed, spoiler alert, still.
The Time Traveler's Wife. That is your beef right there. That's where the hill you're gonna die on. It's a good rom-com. I thought you were gonna start bad-mouthing The Notebook. Then we were really gonna have comments today, because guys won't say it. The Notebook is a decent movie, guys. You can actually watch that with the missus or whoever you're with and feel okay about it, because it's made for both. So you're alright on that, unless you're Jay, which I'm not sure if he's watching, and if he hasn't, I'm not sure if he should. If he didn't like The Time Traveler's Wife, it's kind of similar, and it has the same actress, so just leave it at that, Jay. We understand rom-coms on your time, and probably more so as TV series, so we get it. It's no Bridgerton, so it's alright. Now, Jay, when it comes to the hobbies, we're talking about being with the missus or being with ourselves. Now, we have kids, we're family people, so when you try to hobby it up with the missus, where are the kids, and are some of these hobbies meant for after hours, if you catch my drift?
No, usually when I'm watching something or something with my wife, the kids don't always come in. Maybe if I'm in the office, and I think one day I was watching, I think it was The Incredibles, something on Disney Plus, and the kids will come in like, oh, can we sit and watch it as well? And I'm like, yeah, come on in, we can sit and watch it. But anything with me and my wife, they typically don't like No, my daughter. My daughter, she'll like to spend time with us and watch what we're watching, depending what it is. If you ask my wife, whatever I like is very inappropriate. Go figure. Yeah. But what about you and the missus? Do you guys, when you guys are spending time together watching something, do kids want to come in and participate, or do you guys try to invite them to participate in some family time?
No, generally, the missus and I are going to spend time. We have no choice. When it comes to movie watching, unfortunately, we're at that age where if we try to make it after hours, not an after hours movies, get your head out of the gutter, somebody's. But if we try to save it for after hours, one of us is going to fall asleep, and sometimes both of us will, so we won't make it. So we're left with no choice but to watch the movie during the day, and the best scenario is our oldest son is at school, our youngest is here, but our youngest always wants to be around us, so the best we can hope for is that he'll just keep the phone down that he has with him while he's being around us. So any after hours activity, again, if we're not falling asleep, we will try to make a session pretty quick, and I think that's all I need to say. Yeah, the kids are, and our oldest, he's at that point where he just wants to be on his own, and now that he has his phone, he actually calls his friends and they call him, so now they're talking, they're playing on their own, so we're like, okay, we don't have to really worry about him coming out anymore. It's just our youngest, but that's just life right now, that our youngest just wants to always be around, and that's how we hang out, that's how we hobby it up. So that is our life. Now we're talking about hobbying up with the missus, the wifey, but you know, there will come a time where we will just tend to our hobbies on our own. So the question here would be, what are the hobbies that we partake in on our own? Now I will start first, because there's really one hobby that I go with right now, and it's been my thing for probably the last month, and that is the Oregon Trail, the newest edition that came out. I just enjoy that game plenty, and also because at my age I'm all about knowing history. I knew something about the Oregon Trail, we all did, and for Jay and I, we were in that generation where we played the first version of the Oregon Trail, where the screen was black and green. Now, the difference between that game, which was the first edition, is that in that game, you're just one person controlling one person, and you take your family with you. Now, the thing is, when your family gets sick or anything like that, and anything happens to them, you can't do anything about it. They could die. In this game, you choose all 4 players, and you can help them with any kind of sickness or anything that happens to them. Now you control all 4 of them. That's what I enjoy about it. And I played this through the entire thing at least 12, 13 times, and it's never the same ending. So that's what I generally tend to do right now on my own. The only other thing, right now this is still a hobby, is I'll go ahead and edit our videos, because I enjoy editing a lot. So I have no problem doing that on my spare time, which is a hobby. So those are the things I do, Jay. But what about you? What do you do when you finally have your alone time and you just want to chop it up with yourself?
Well, I like to play my PS5, so I'm replaying right now. Stop it right now. So I like to play my PS5. So right now I'm replaying Marvel Spider-Man 2, replaying that, and my kids will want to play that as well. And I'll play Madden. I'm still debating right now if I want to get the new Madden. I'll probably wait till Christmas where it's cheaper, and I'll probably buy it then. Outside of that, I'll work out, and I like to watch me some Bridgerton. So, yep, that's what I do right now. I'm in my Bridgerton phase right now. So I'm waiting for season 4 to come out in 2 years. But other than that, yeah, that's what I like to do in my spare time for me, some of my me time.
All right, Jay. So that's good to know about us, that we're both gamers. Although, you know, up until today, Jay was perfect, but he has a PS5, and that's not really where it's at. It's all about Xbox. And put it on the comments. Whose side are you on? Are you with the best or the rest? Now, come on. We all know it's all about that green and black, baby. Just like the first Oregon Trail. It's historical. Now, Jay, we just finished talking about ourselves and our hobbies, but let's get back to the wifey, because I'm sure when they watch the videos, they want to know that they are mentioned, and the more mentions, the better. So when it comes to hobbies, was there a hobby that you started because of your wife and you hobby it up with her? And is there a hobby that is lingering that you do want to start with your wife now?
No. What my wife likes to do, she does completely on her own. I don't find any interest in what she does. Like, the hobbies she likes to do is watch Jeopardy. Now, if it's in the background, I'm watching stuff, I'll hear a question. If I can answer it, I'm very proud of myself. Other than that, she got her Jeopardy. She likes reading books, which I hate to read. And we were discussing this the other day, how she likes to read, how I don't like to read, and why is that. She likes to do double dutch. Anything else? I think that's about it. I went over this list with her yesterday. I was like very proud of myself that I got all those. I was like, that's correct. That's all the answers, right? It's like there's nothing else I need to mention. She's like, no, that's all. That's all. But then I asked her, what is some stuff that I like to do for a hobby, and she rounded it off and said, yeah, you like to watch your inappropriate stuff. I'm like, Bridgerton is not inappropriate. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we butt heads about that. So, yeah. What about you? Is there anything that you and your wife, or anything that your wife started, did you kind of jumped on board, or she tried to get you on board, but you're like, nah, that's not for me?
Yeah, there was something that I started, and I guess it wasn't it was a little recent, actually. It's a game on our phones called BitLife, which is you just create your own person and you live the best life that you can. And it ended up being a damn time suck for me because I wanted to live the best life that I could on a phone. So I played that, I think, for 10 hours one day. I started at like 6 p.m. and I didn't go to bed till 10 hours, 4 a.m. And that was just half my life. And I told her, why did you do this to me? And mainly because she liked to play it too, and she felt that I would enjoy it. And yes, I enjoyed it a bit too much because it was something similar to the Oregon Trail. It was something real that was happening, at least in my life. So that's one of the things I got into because of her. Something new that I would want to start? I mean, nothing new that I could think of. Maybe the only thing that I would try to add on to is she'd be a little more open-minded about music and the music videos. That way we don't have to end our sessions because she wants to. You know, there's more music around the country than just here. Although she is into K-pop and she got me into K-pop, so I guess that counts as well. But otherwise, not right now, because I've tried to get her to game with me. But again, she's a simmer, whatever that means, because it's not gaming. Put it on the comments, somebody. But yeah, otherwise, no, not really. That's where we stand at this point, Jay. Alright, Jay, so now that we took care of that business right there, there's a question that came up probably a moment ago, actually, which was from the moment that we met our missus to now, have our hobbies changed from that point? And I'll start first, just to give an example. When my wife and I started dating, my hobby, one of them, was actually watching football. And more so, I'm going to get so much hate for saying the team, but the Dallas Cowboys. Again, I was a 90s kid when I started watching the Cowboys. That was the triplets. That's when they won. Realizing that after so much time that, quite frankly, they just suck. Now, I know a Patriot sympathizer over there cannot understand any of this, but nonetheless, yeah, that was my jam up until probably 5-6 years ago, and I just realized it's not worth for me to take up my time anymore for football, and I just took that time for my family. And now I just watch highlights of football in general, if I watch that at all. I really have no more interest in it. So that was one of the hobbies that I used to have for myself, along with, actually, some of you may not believe it, well, seeing me now, but I used to also get into exercise with running, mainly running, a lot of running. Now, I had my family, and that running time went to family time, so I'll leave for you somebodies to put 2 and 2 together. Somehow, Jay is an anomaly, because from the time I met him to now, He has not changed, and really, I've seen photos of him before. He has not changed at all since he's come out of the womb. But that's Jay's secret, that he making a deal with the devil. Hey, that's for some of us, and I'm still looking for the devil. I will do what I need to do if I see him. Jay already has, and it seems to work out just fine. Now, Jay, on your end, can you think of the hobbies that you had before you met the missus that you would partake in?
No, I think everything I've done before we met until now is pretty much similar. I'll probably watch more football now than I did before we met. Unlike you, I'm not a Cowboy fan, and that's just terrible. And I don't know why they're a Cowboy fan. Especially they haven't. When was the last time they were in a Super Bowl? Was it 90?
It's going on 30 years now.
So, yeah. But no, everything that I've done prior to doing the same. Only thing difference is I don't watch as much TV as I used to. I don't like trying to get into new shows and trying to follow every single thing. So that's the only thing I haven't really done. And other than that, I'm trying to get what I would like for us to do as a couple, me and my wife, of course, is watch something similar that we can watch weekly. Because stuff she watches, I'll pay attention, kind of. And if there's someone cute in the show, I'll pay more attention. But really, nah, I don't like a lot of stuff that she watches, and vice versa. She don't like a lot of stuff that I watch. So that's kind of, But I do want her to get into Bridgerton with me. I really try so hard. I tried. It's a no-go. It's a no-go. I really tried. But she was like, yeah, when you were watching it one day, I saw something I didn't want to see. I can't help it. You watched it at that particular time, looked at my phone. I can't help that. So it's like, I can fast forward these scenes. Like, there's not much in there as you think it is. So, but that's neither here or there. She's probably rolling her eyes as she's watching this right now. So, yeah.
And I think I can translate this pretty well from Bridgerton, because I've only seen the trailer and it was okay. But it seems to me there could have been a possible nude scene, and I know the missus is not keen on that. Let alone there's probably a penis. So not a lot of us would be keen on that either. But I'll leave that to Jay, because he's all about Bridgerton. And Jay, stop trying to make Bridgerton a thing. That's just for you, okay? And all the other Bridgertonians out there, if that's what they're even called. Maybe I just started something. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I know I had a similar situation with my wife, because she tried to get me to watch Euphoria. And apparently that's a popular show right now. I watched the trailer after watching Bridgerton. And again, as I said earlier, this is related to... I know it's related about kids, but it's also about drug use. I'm not about that. Again, the only exception was Breaking Bad, one of the greatest shows of all time.
Now, say my name.
Otherwise, I don't care to see it. And by the way, on the trailer, spoiler alert, there is a penis shot. So just be prepared, fellas, because I wasn't ready. I didn't mind, but I wasn't ready. I don't know what that means for me, but it wasn't for me, and I will stop watching. Now, Jay, in the big picture, when it comes to hobbies, by ourselves or with wifey, do you feel it is absolutely important to keep hobbies and really get vested with them with not only our wifey, but also have our alone time and just do our own thing? Do you think it's just important on both ends?
Yeah, I do. You always want to still have your individuality when you're in the couple relationship. I feel you don't want to lose yourself, because you don't want to wrap yourself all into one person. You're all about that person. It's like, if they're not here, who are you, type of thing. I do like having my alone time, doing my own hobbies, and vice versa. My wife, she loves doing what she does on her own, and it gives you a chance to miss each other and come back, and then you can have your sexy time. But what about you? Do you believe you both have your alone time and come together and have your couple time and shared hobbies?
Yeah, I realize more so now, because at the beginning of our relationship, I know that's one thing that she mentioned to me, that she was about needing her alone time. And I'm just thinking in my head, well, if you want to start a family, there's not going to be much alone time. So what do you mean by that? Do you maybe not want the family? And of course, this is in my head early on. I'm also a narcissist, so it's all about me and my mentality, and I'm right. But it comes to terms that I was not right. because nowadays I understand having the alone time. I guess I'm the exception because I am a truck driver and I do go out for days at a time. So I have my alone time, but I'm just glad and grateful to come back to my family. But again, that's just a different view of it. So that's why I try to make the best of it. I hang out with my wife first with our hobbies. And one of the other hobbies that we do as well is when she's cooking, I'm just there to, as Jay would say, chop it up. I do like that term, so I'm going to steal that for you a lot more, Jay, because I just enjoy it. But nonetheless, that's the other thing that we do together. Now, on my own, I try hard now when I'm home because I realize if we call it when Dad gets on the trail, I will not be there for anybody while I'm on the trail. I really get vested in it. I get very, very verbal, but I'm going to try not to do that so much now. But it's so funny because even my youngest son, he'll point to me and I'll follow him. And he'll go tell me to sit down in the game room because I guess for him, the last couple of weeks, that is where Daddy belongs, on the trail. So I admire him because he understands me. But at the same time, I need to be the bigger man, need to be the adult and realize, no, I cannot sit here yet because then I will ignore all of you and realize that the trail is real for me. But I think it is absolutely important to always be with the missus, even if you have a little amount of time. Go for it. Take advantage of it. Just take it for what it is. Carpe diem, seize the day. So now, Jay, I think we took care of that session, took care of that topic. Hopefully it helped some buddies out there for hobbies, important for both, alone and with wifey. Now, it sometimes will be better if you can control the hobbying, but for the most part, the important thing is to be together. So Jay, now we get to one of somebody's favorite parts of the show, which is your wisdom, dropping that knowledge that you have. Since you have the missus known her for over 20 plus years, I always acquiesce to you. What would you say to all the somebodies that are listening about hobbies being important? What would you just say to all of us? Because I'm also listening too.
Well, funny thing, my wife and I were talking about this the other day, how we wanted to try to do something different. And my wife, she likes to dance. I'm not much of a dancer. So I was telling her, like, would you want to do like maybe some ballroom dancing lessons or something like that? She's like, yes, that would be nice. And I was like, okay, so that's something we can look into as a hobby we can do together. And I always say, try to find something new to do and not just do the same old thing. And also have your own thing, have your own life outside of your spouse as well. Because I like doing my own thing as well, like just have some me time. You know, mental health is a real thing. So it's like I like to just kind of chill, watch some of my TV shows, some of my streaming shows, and listen to some music. Now I like inappropriate music, as my wife likes to say. So that's just my thing. So I always say find something that you like for yourself. At least maybe I would say 20-30 minutes, maybe once out of a week. Just have some me time somewhere if you can fit in based on your schedule. And then also make some time for you and your spouse. And if you have kids, try to incorporate the kids in there too, periodically, you know, but you want to make sure it's you and your spouse first, kids come second, and take it from there. So that would be my wisdom.
All right, Jay. Now that's very interesting because a lot of parents would say the kids come first. Well, that's nice on a Disney movie, but if you're really in a marriage, you have to kind of understand that parents have to keep their sanity. As much as we love our kids, we do need that time with just the missus and just ourselves. So that is the reality of it. It's not always a fairy tale. Now, I will throw in my 2 cents on this subject. It is important. I realize now. As I said before, I didn't know what my wife meant when she wanted her alone time from the start as being a parent. I get it now. Because when I'm able to take the kids and she has her alone time for sure, that definitely helps her to just get back to who she is. Not just as a 24/7 mom, because that's what generally she is. but it is important for her to just get to her hobbies and be able to do her own thing. But at the same time, I kind of go with when Michelle Obama was the Mrs. and the First Lady, when she said just play 60. So whenever we can, the Mrs. and I will just play 60 and hobby it up, try to do it for at least an hour. Even if it's throughout the day, we'll try to get 60 minutes in there together. So it is very important on both ends. We have to keep our sanity. We are the parents. Somehow, us big kids, or us kids and these adult bodies are raising kids, but we still have to maintain some kind of balance. So that is my 2 cents in there. Well, Jay, we have come to the end of the show. And by the way, for all of you that are just able to listen to us and not watch us, we are also available on Spotify. So go ahead, if you don't have the app, download it. It's a simple click away. Unless, I don't know, if you're on Android or Apple, I think it's the same thing, right, Jay? You have Android. It's just a click or two.
Yep. Download the application, open it, you're good to go.
Absolutely, same thing with Apple. So the phones have made it easy. Now, if you have a Google phone, I have no idea. I don't know what you need to do there. You may have to call Google Tech or some kind of customer service. I don't know. But we know for Android and Apple, you're good to go. And by the way, for you somebodies, if you have a topic you would like for us to talk about, go ahead and put it on the comments. We are here for you. We will read them. We will like them. And if we like them a lot, we'll probably respond to you. That's for sure. Because Jay loves to respond to your messages. So if there is a response, more than likely it's him. So for Jay, for me, Mr. Mafuchi, we will leave this show. We will see you next time. Please come back. We will be here. We are here for you. We're doing this for us and some you. But please come back. We'll see you later. So long.
Later.